If you are among those people, sadly and unfortunately, if you are among Shakti, if you are among those beings who basically play, if you are among those beings who basically create unnecessary fear among creation, and after creating that unnecessary fear, they take advantage of people for some to feel better if they are narcissist, or to it makes them feel like it makes them feel like that they are in the charge. It makes them feel like that they are in some type of control, and through that control they make the attempts for the financial or monetary gain. Then you need to stop it, because what you do basically it creates a certain type of vibration. Remember, I told you about Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton, third law of motion. Modern science started from Isaac Newton, if I'm not mistaken, which I don't think I am. Isaac Newton, Galileo, and stuff. Anyway, moving on. That's not the point. Isaac Newton' third law of motion is every action creates an equal and opposite reaction. So that's your action which would create an equal and opposite reaction. That vibration that is because of the fear you are penetrating among beings, it is basically creating a vibration, a result, and that is in your way in terms of bad karma. So please, I beg you, stop doing that, okay? I'm not here to scare you or threaten you, but I'm just giving you clarity. My job is to stop your suffering, and by bringing clarity in your life, I have signed up to stop your suffering. The more clear you see, the less suffering there is. It is very simple, okay? Not only you would become miserable very soon and very rapidly, if you understand what I'm saying, because of that negative vibration. But then when you cannot take it anymore, means you are overwhelmed with negative karma, you would go around and spread that misery. Remember, so that's not good for you. I would tell you this. One time I was in a deep samadhi, not mahasamadhi. Mahasamadhi is enlightenment. We will look into it in a bit. It's also important. In a deep samadhi, and I witnessed Jesus Christ, and he said, yes, I need you to see something. I have mentioned this before. I said, okay, Lord, and there was a pond. It foamed. Everything is energy based after you leave your body. There is no physicality here. Um, Distance and time is because of your own physicality. I hope you understand that, even through the perspective of physics, and even through the perspective of metaphysics or modern science, distance and time is only because you have physicality. Once you lose physicality, there is no distance, because it's very it's very impossible basically to create a standard. When you say distance, it means your own body is your standard, your own body is your focal point, point A. And then you say, I want to go from point A to point B. That the very physicality, the very is your focal point, is your viewpoint, is your standard through which you create the distance. You see, point A, I would go to point B, distance. Once there is no point A, if you understand, Once there is no point A, then there is no point B. Point B is accomplished because there is point A, isn't it? It's very simple. So Jesus Christ said, so it's all energy based. So there was that there was that pond which formed, if you understand, there was that pond which formed, and Jesus Christ basically threw a pebble in the pond, if you understand. And then that pebble, as soon as it touched the pebble, the small pebble, stone, whatever you want to call it, as soon as it touched the surface, it started making the ripple effects. You see, wave. One wave creates another wave, just like point A creates point B. Wave after wave. And Jesus Christ said, what did you learn from this example? And I answered, Lord, I said, Lord, that's how your action goes. And he admired me immensely. That was in one of the deep samadhi. Why am I telling that? Am I bragging about myself that I witnessed Jesus Christ, or my energy, bands with his energy? Am I some type of prophet? Am I some special or the chosen one? No, I am nothing. You see, I'm nothing. I'm nobody. You understand? Being nothing, being nobody is an immense possibility. You can be just about anything, and you can slip into anything as well if you so wished. But that's not the point. The point is keep yourself humble. You understand that? That's why I'm telling you this. And pay focus on your actions. If you have less clarity and awareness, you wouldn't be able to realize your actions go very far, very, very far. And that every wave that your action creates, a vibration is generated. When a vibration is generated, that vibration would go in your way. That's what I am saying. That vibration would go in your way. You see, in terms of the reaction, in terms of the effect of your action, then you have more karma, if you understand. Then you have more karma. You are here to transcend the karma and find happiness, which naturally is the same thing. The more karma you are transcending, good karma and bad karma both, the more you are getting closer to the concrete happiness which resides within you. The goal in your life is to make sure, this is also important for me to clarify, the goal in your life is to make sure your breathing is not suffocated. And that can only happen when you go through the entire education that I have given you, 222 videos on YouTube. And also that goes 222 videos, the entire education goes. You understand that? And then also Kriya meditation, you see. I, of course, yesterday was feeling ill, but I brought some clarity without any specific topic, addressing any specific topic. Today, I am not only bringing more clarity in your perception, but also there is a specific topic. You see, there is one specific topic. You think that you are somewhere and you would go somewhere after you die. As you know, I am very reluctant to use the term death because there is no death. There is just life and life and life. In this moment in time, I would say that. After a long period of time, as you grow in your quest to find the truth, even life dissipates. You understand what I'm saying? Why am I laughing? Because I experience that all the time, you see, and I leave you baffled rather. I know you are baffled because some of these things require more comprehension than your mind can gauge. Mind basically cannot gauge a lot of things. There is an understanding that takes place beyond the thought and the involvement of mind. I live in that understanding. That's what I'm saying all the time. Today, there is a specific topic. You think that you are somewhere and you would go somewhere, again, distance, after you die. Die or death. The only reason, basically, I am even using this term to make you comprehend because you are more familiar with that term. You are more familiar with birthday and you are more familiar with death but not bodily demise. The more clarity and awareness in you, the more you would use the term bodily demise. Of course, birthdays are birthdays, so that's good. Anyway, and I also wish you happy birthday in my previous post, in which I'm blowing the incense, uh, the good smell, the good incense, the fragrance, so I can attract my guides and the band of stars on the sky for me. You see, my spiritual guides, the band of the stars, you see, and they are with me. Anyway, moving on. So, what's happening is you are there already, you are not going anywhere. In very brief, and then we will go further and look into it in detail. In very brief, in one sentence, you do not go anywhere. You already are there, basically. You are wherever you are. I am already there too. After I die, I'm not going anywhere. I'm already there. So are you, you see. So what's happening basically when I say I and you, I am making a distinction, if you understand. And I am making a distinction consciously when I say I and you to make you understand this is through the perspective of individual self, because individual self is what you live in, if not all, but for the most part of the day. So it's easier for me to make you comprehend through the perspective of individual self. There is no individuality. Individuality is everything that you know since the day of your birthday, isn't it? Since the day of your birthday, individuality is that everything that you know, everything which has been handed over to you. If you didn't, if you were, we talked about that the day before yesterday, if you were not exposed to any words, any type of identifications. Identification is when you get identified with gender. I'm a male, I'm a female. For me, I do not get identified with gender. That's why male and female both have an attraction for my body. I know that. I know so many things, but I do not mention because it's not necessary. Excuse me. Not only male, female, but any male or female, a combination, a mixture even of them, what we understand as transgender. Experience life not with words. Understand that. You humans create words, you see, and then you become slave of those words. Have you not ever focused that much? You humans give birth. Remember, I tell you the expression of giving birth. You human give birth to words, and then you become slave of those words. In corporate strategy, when I went to school back in Britain, we had a topic. We have a subject, rather, corporate strategy. This thick book, but obviously you didn't get to read the entire book, just only main features of the book. In that, uh, a company, humans basically form a company, and after that, they give company birth by bringing their focus and faith, and company becomes alive. Do you know a company has its own identity? A company can be sued on debts. A company is treated as an individual. You know that if you are business familiar and finance and corporations, you would know. Anyway, moving on. I was giving you an example. Just like that, a company becomes individual. Just like that, words, when you blow the power of your faith, basically, when you blow the power of your faith in words, words become alive. Then those words rule you. You know that more than half of the people who say that I am gay or I'm lesbian or I am transgender, those people, I can close my eyes and I can assure you those people are more in accord with nature and they have more awareness than you, an average person. You know that. They do. They have more awareness than an average person and they have more courage because they are attempting to let consciousness or the sense of self-awareness run through freely rather in their body. You know that. That's why I have a lot of respect for them, and I am one of them, by the way, make no mistake. I do not classify myself as gay or lesbian or this or that because everyone is gay. I am gay, you know that. You are gay. I am lesbian, you are lesbian, and I am straight and you are straight. What's happening right now, if you are paying attention, what's happening right now is I'm refusing to let by words because once you once you are led by words, you suppress yourself. You see, you are a male, you see a beautiful male, you know, handsome or beautiful or anything. And then there is something without human conditioning or without having a memory, it's just the band, is the band of energy, is the band of vibration, if you understand. And you have something starts in your chakra, excitement, you see, because you are attracted to the being. But then you remember something. Do you know what you remember? You remember, oh, I'm a male, by the way. I'm not, and I'm straight. You see how words are controlling you. I'm a male, by the way, and I am straight. No, you are not a male, nor you are straight. That's the fact. I'm not supposed to feel that. You see, the moment you say I'm not supposed to feel that, now all your focus and awareness go to suppress that feeling. Once you suppress yourself, what you feel authentic. Mind you, do not misunderstand me. I always clarify things as much as humanly possible. Once you feel something not influenced by your memory, not influenced by your memory, or influenced by your karma, but free will authentication is true. What you feel, and it's true. It's coming from the source of creation. It's true. And when you suppress that, basically the authentic truth, then you commit a sin because now you are going against yourself. That is sin. Anytime you try to go against yourself, you commit a sin. Understand that? Okay, moving on. So you see, I just proved in a very through, excuse me, I just proved through a very simple example here that how you are led by words. I just proved that. You see, just proved that if your focus was intact. So I am not led by words. I do not believe in superstitions. You see, invest in this society. It's a beautiful society. I'm not here to criticize any society. But in this society, you think that when you go to South America and there are tribes, or you go in Africa and there are numerous tribes over there who are more close to the nature than you are, and then you go to India, there are numerous individuals, yogis to Himalayas, and you say these people are living in superstitions. No, these people are not living in superstitions. It's you who is living in superstitions. Let me clarify that. You see, and I have made it very clear, you are living in superstitions. You see, because those people believe not something outside of themselves, and they use symbology, which you think that they basically they use symbology, and then you think that when they use symbology, you portray a picture that these people are living in superstitions. No, they have accomplished to go in accord with nature. They are more close to nature. They are using symbology. Hinduism is all about. Hinduism is not even a religion. I have mentioned that numerous times. Hinduism is all about using symbology. And to make you understand, it's the manifestation of one being. You are that being, I am that being. Now, there is no plurality here. According to English grammar, you and I are pronouns and there is plurality. I'm not talking about English lessons here. I'm saying there is one being who is manifesting in you and I. So you can learn. Anyway, it's a separate topic. I can speak on that topic the entire day sitting here, but I'm not going to. That topic I'm trying to bring clarity. You do not go anywhere after you die or bodily demise. You already are there, and so am I, if you understand. So am I, and so are you. Everybody is. There is no distance once the body is gone. You see, in yogic culture, in real yogic culture, not the blondes are doing hatha yoga. Hatha, if you want to do that, there is no condemnation in that. You see, if you want to find the goal of your life through hatha, hatha is also a good form to raise your energy, if you understand, but take the right measures with hatha. And also do the hatha. It's good, hatha is good, and it brings clarity, but keep taking the right measures too. And otherwise, the prana, the energy, the life energy, it would dissipate very soon. You see, when I speak with you, I speak in detail and I approach one topic numerous ways. Anyway, moving on. In a yogic culture back in India, where India is the birth, you know what I mean? India basically is the birth of yoga. So in yogic culture back in India, human body, we look at it through 5 layers, through the discovery of sages. Pay attention to what follows. It's very significant for you. So it's very significant for you. Pay attention to what follows. Anyway, in yoga, we look at a being, a human. We look at a being, at a human. 5 fundamental layers. What you see is the last one, which if you are seeing my body, obviously you are. I cannot see your body because I do not say that you should turn your cam on or this or that, but as long as you are witnessing me and the words of truth and wisdom are getting through you, this is all I want. Shh. Shh. So, as you are witnessing my body, right now, what you see, a a subtle body, a food body. You see, this is a food body. Isn't it a food body? This would this body be here if I was not eating or I was starved? No, life would leave because obviously I'm not nurturing what basically capturing life. So this body is like this because I eat food and I do not starve my body. So, and the same goes to you, and the same goes to everybody. That's the most outer, if you understand. That's the that's the most outer body. That's the most outer body. Then the second body is the mental body. Now, this body, the mental body, what's happening here? The mental body is made out of what you are perceiving through your five senses. You see, mental body and the discriminatory aspect of mind and all that. That's what mental body is. And the third one, and the third one is energy body, the prana in Sanskrit, energy body. And then these all three layers of existence in being are considered one physical, real. The food body, the mental body, because of course you can perceive your thoughts and they keep you restless. It's real, even though it does not have no physical shape or form, but you are the one who's perceiving it. It is very, very real, if you understand. That is what we understand as mental body. And then energy bodies, of course you witness that too. Sometimes your energies are really, really high, sometimes you are feeling very jubilant, you have less uh, thoughts in your mind. You see, next to the mental body is energy body. So whatever goes in the mental body has an effect on energy body. You see, is it making sense to you? It's common sense. So what's happening here is these all three are considered physical, because physical means that either you can see it or you can perceive it. It has an objectivity. Excuse me, it has an objectivity attached to it. So these are considered all physical. And karma is the cement which gets it together. You see, which gets it together as one. So what happens basically, the physical body and the mental body in between and the energy body, all these three bodies are tied up like a physical body, such as take a rubber band and take three objects or three branches of wood or something and tie the rubber band around those three objects or three branches of wood, and the rubber is holding those three things basically. That is considered one physical. You see, the rubber is holding all three. So that is considered one, which is the physical body. And then we have two more layers. One is called bliss body. It's above the um, energy body. It is called bliss body. It's like a transition. It's like a transit between the physical body and to Mahasamadhi. And the last one is totally empty, which is absolutely empty. The bliss body is called Anandamaya Kosha. I remember that now from Sanskrit. Anand, bliss, happiness. Bliss body is called Anandamaya Kosha. And then the last one is basically totally empty. The last one is a void in which not even you cannot even classify you cannot even classify that up or down or left or right or anything. ओ महादेवा, मेरे को थोड़ा सेहत दे, मेरे को थोड़ा लिफ्ट अप करने का। महादेवा, मेरे को थोड़ा सेहत दे, थोड़ा लिफ्ट अप करने का मेरे को. Okay, so what's going on? So the last one is called void. It has no sense and it is non-local. It has no color and it has no physicality, no nothing. You cannot imagine that. You can only experience that, you see. Um, that's what we understand when Mahasamadhi or the person has become enlightened, which happens after numerous and billions of lifetimes. Or you can expedite it by taking the right measures and through Kriya Yoga and meditation. It's up to you, it's your life. So Mahasamadhi in yoga is understood as enlightenment. In Hinduism, we understand that as moksha. In Christianity, we understand as ultimate liberation or salvation, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. You understand? It's the same thing, just different words. And since we are not led by the words, it indicates the same phenomena. So when a person dies, or when the bodily transition, when a person dies, or the bodily transition, or um, when a person dies, or the bodily transition, or the bodily demise takes place, you see. So the physical body that you have, the physical body is there, but obviously the person is gone when we say, um, and then because you borrowed it basically uh, from the planet, if you understand, you borrowed it from the planet, the physical body, you borrowed it from the planet. So you leave it with the planet in terms of food and all that I have mentioned in my previous retreats. Every person that you came in contact with in terms of food, in terms of the smell, in terms of connections, the bands, the bonds, the climate, the environment, the traveling, the sand, and all the five elements basically of nature, uh, the five elements of nature which supports the bodily accumulation on this planet Earth. That is what you understand as food body. You understand? Shh. So that food body remains here and it goes back to planet Earth. That's what's happening. Whether you burn it or whether you bury it or whether you burn, bury, or what the word I'm looking for, that you in, incriminate. Yeah, I think that's the right word. Incriminate the body and just put the ashes. No matter what you do, no one has ever managed to take one atom. If you understand that, no one has ever been able to manage literally one atom with them. You see, Earth would keep that. It's not possible. It's not possible. It would defy the law of nature, and nature is not going to let that happen. So it remains what you borrowed, it would remain on the planet. The next one is the mental body, the likings, the disliking, the discriminatory aspects, the memory, which memory actually exists in all these three forms: the physical body, the mental body, and also the energy body. Memory exists in all that. But it has most to do with the discriminatory aspects, what you are thinking, what is the content basically of your mind, the literal content of your mind. And karma is the rubber band. Remember, I said that if you take a rubber band and you wrap the rubber band around three branches of wood, you see rubber stretches and hold those three. One of them is physical body, other is mental body, the third is energy body. Rubber is whole tying them together. That very rubber band, imagine it is karma, if you understand. And then what happens is basically, but in the mental one, basically the content in the mental one, it is the content of the mind. This is what's happening. All the content of the mind is in the mental body. And that's why it's very significant. You would see why. And the third one is energy body, which is prana, you see, energy body. Now, what happens when somebody dies or the bodily transition? That all that which is karma, it basically the content of the mind, the everything, the mind frame you live. Shh, shh, Shush, shh, shush, shush the mind, shh, shush the mind. The mind frame that you live every day during the day, and all those days that make an year, and all those years that make the entire lifetime, the mind frame. This is all the content of the mind. You see, that what becomes of me, that's what the question people ask after I die or the bodily demise. That actually moves on. You understand? That moves on. And then what happens if a person is not doing anything for the content of the mind, which is the most significant thing? Please know that, my loved ones, my seers, my followers, please know. The content of the mind needs to be rectified. If you are angry all the time or most of the time, then you need to rectify. So the factor of anger goes away. If you overthink and most of it is negative, what is negative? Whatever keeps you restless or creates a tension is called negative. In reality, these are just vibrations, and in reality, these are just frequencies. You can label it negative or positive, you see. Anyway, so that is the, if you are angry for the most part, or if you are going through some disorders, if you understand. So please, through Kriya meditation, and take the entire education of transformation little by little. Do not be overwhelmed. Do not be overwhelmed, please. Little by little, baby steps. I have mentioned that, even if you cannot move and if you feel overwhelmed, because in this physical, the rubber, remember the rubber band is holding three branches in this, and they are called all physical. So in this physical one, basically what's happening is, uh, it is mostly influenced by the content of the mind, which is the mental body, you see. So that mental body, and if you are going through anxiety, any number of things which keeps you restless, then take the baby steps. Lay straight every day on your couch if you cannot move from the couch or your bed, or lay straight on a ground like this one right here. I'm sitting on a carpet, and this carpet is firm, and on this is a rubber mat, huh? A rubber mat, the yoga mat or rubber mat. Now you can sit or you can lay straight on the rubber mat, and you can pay attention to your breathing. Through that, you are borrowing the strength from the secret. Through that, you are borrowing the strength. Through that, you are borrowing the strength from the divinity. You are borrowing it for some time, because after that, when you get better and you have clarity in your mind, you would be doing what I am doing right now, bringing more clarity. That's why we would create a happy, healthy, peaceful society, and we would claim our paradise lost. Remember the Milton's Paradise Lost? So this is what happens, you see. So do that. Lay on the rubber mat straight, okay? And just pay attention to your breathing. Give gratitude consciously. Become aware of your breathing consciously and give gratitude to it. You see, and tell universe that I love you. Tell universe that I love you. I am a part of you. Are you acknowledging me? You see, that's what you say. You verbalize that. That's the most important thing I wanted to say today. You say to the universe, I love you. Are you acknowledging me? I am the part of you, you say, while you keep breathing. And make sure, as comfortable as humanly possible, your back is straight. You see, this is what I'm saying to you today. So that content of the mind would start being rectified little by little. You wouldn't know in the early days, but have patience. Everything takes time. But after a certain period of time, what would happen? That you would not even uh, need to lay straight. You can sit up now, and you can start the physical posture of Kriya meditation. You see, congratulations, you have made some improvement. It goes with patience and it goes with dedication. These are the tools. Content of the mind, the ego, what makes you a person, the identifications. I do not like this. I do not like this person. I do not like the tone of this voice. I do not like if they don't speak English. I do not like, I do not like, I do not like. You see, all that I do not like. Where you are smooth is already liking. Where you have no contradiction, no duality, is already liking, because there is no duality. There is just acceptance. But when you say I do, that is your mind frame, that is your mental body, basically. And along with the energy, karma is imprinted on all three of them. Remember, the rubber band is karma. A rubber band which is tying all three branches of the tree is karma. So that rubber band, or that um, the entire thing survives, you see. The whole thing survives. It does not have now a physical form, but it survives. And if there is a lot of content in mind, remember I gave you yesterday only the example that keep yourself light. It is easier to manage a room filled with 4 people than it is to manage a room filled with 100 people. We are trying to reduce the content of your mind, my loved ones. That's why I'm delivering this message. We are trying to reduce the duality in your mind. If not, clean, at least reduce. The less content of the mind there is, the easier for you to find another body. The more content of your mind, the more negativity, the more disliking in the content of mind there is, the difficult it is to find another body. It's very simple. You are already there, you are not going anywhere. You see, when I say moves on, it's not that it moving physically, it's over there, but the experience. Right now you are experiencing this, you look around. Right now you are experiencing this and you look around, and stuff like that. I am experiencing what I am experiencing. Your three-dimensional reality, up, down, left, right, wrong, right, all that, the narrow band, your three-dimensional reality, the narrow band you are experiencing, the entire experience is being generated around you based on your tendencies. You are not in the experience. Experience is around you. Please understand that. So you do not go anywhere. You stay where you are based on that. A frequency is generated and it looks for the frequency which matches. If it does not match, it would not find a body. If it matches only, like the key in the lock, it would find body. The more content there is, it's difficult to find a body. And if the body becomes available, so then the energy of is very high to match the frequency. The energy body, one of them in the rubber band, is very high. So it has to be in a limbo. So the residue, the energy is dissipated, and then it matches basically with a certain frequency, you see, and then the person is born again. However, the less karma there is, the more you are closer to the light. Now we are talking about light. Rest of the two ones, the Anandamaya Kosha is non-physical, and the top one is totally emptiness. So Anandamaya Kosha is a transition between the emptiness and the physical, you see. So when somebody uh, has transcended all the karma, it transits through the Anandamaya Kosha, and it becomes the part of everything. You see, it becomes the part of everything. It becomes a part of universe, cosmos, Brahman, whatever you want to call it. It becomes a part of everything. Now this person is out of the cycle of birth and death, you see. But this person is not liable to be born, and this person is not it's not subject to birth and death, but out of uh, compassion, you see, but out of compassion that you can come to this planet. if you understand all this. So I hope that you understand what I mentioned to you, and just the gist of this message today is basically that you pay attention to the content of the mind and try to cleanse it, you see. And that would help you even to transcend your karma. It would bring more energy in you. And do not ever stop a meditation, the Kriya meditation. Do not please ever stop the Kriya meditation. Always keep doing the Kriya meditation. Just remember something. Keep doing this. If you have any questions or confusions, please write me. And do not forget the most important thing that you gotta remember. I love you. I always have and I always will. Mm, mm.